Hi guys, it's Odette again. I told you I was going to have to do this in 2 parts. There is so much to talk about. I've got my laptop here in front of me again, that's why I keep looking down. I guess now it's kind of like the before you go, what you need to do. I think I spoke about that you need to set up a visa and everything before you go. Obviously don't forget travel insurance, you never know what might happen. They're the main things that you don't want to forget. And obviously your park tickets beforehand and changing your money up. There's a really good thing that some of the shops are doing at the moment where you can put your money on a card. You can kind of like split it so you have half cash and half on like a credit card. And this credit card allows you to get money out. That will charge you though, but you can use it to pay for dinners and for anything that you're buying in the parks and anywhere else for that kind of thing. It's just like a credit card that you use. It's got dollars on it rather than pounds though. And when you come back to England, you can get wherever you get it from. So the post office do one, Thomas Cook do one. The best one we found when we were looking was Sainsbury's. Unfortunately, we couldn't do ours through Sainsbury's at the time because they were doing a changeover with their banking and money. So we ended up just getting everything in cash. And when you're taking over £1,000, you don't really want to be like taking that all in cash if you're not sure if you've got a safe in your villa or your hotel. We luckily had a safe. We didn't know we were going to have that. We kind of just turned up and found out that there was a safe in a cupboard somewhere, sort of drilled down to the floor. So we were really lucky that we had that. Otherwise I would have been a little bit worried about leaving a lot of money at the apartment. Yeah, I'd recommend trying to get one of these like credit card things. They sound really good. They would have been a great help for us if we'd had one. My auntie and uncle did have one, but they decided to use theirs so they got money out, which was a bit strange because it was charging them every time they did it. So they were trying to get large sums of money out at one time. And what we decided would be better in the end was if they paid for everyone's dinner when we were all out one evening and we just paid our bit of the bill to them, so then they had cash. And then it meant that they weren't getting charged to take money out and things, but they still had cash for when they needed it. So it is really good, just maybe not forgetting cash out of machines, and trying to find a machine when you're in a park isn't always easy anyway. If you've bought your tickets though, you can actually, with Disney, you can book fast passes up to 30 days in advance if you're not staying in a Disney resort. So if you're staying on Disney property, you can book fast passes up to 60 days before. I'd really recommend doing this if you're going for if you're going in one of the busy times of year. So obviously we went at Easter and we didn't book many before we went because my family are dotted all over the place. We don't all live in the same county. So I kind of booked a few for the first day, and then everything else I thought, oh, we'll just book it when we get there. And we were trying to do them the sort of night before. Magic Kingdom just does not happen when you're trying to book fast passes the night before. You need to like book them days in advance, especially if you want something like Peter Pan's ride. That ride is always sort of over an hour long in queue time. So if you can get fast passes before you get there, they're great. All you've got to do is go onto the Disney World website and you set up an account, and then when you've got your actual hard copy tickets, so we had the cards, like credit card type of tickets, the plastic ones, there's a number on the back that you literally just put in. It tells you exactly how to do it, and you can do it that way, and it links it up, and then you can just go on and say you want to book fast passes and it'll give you a list and you can pick out of those lists. If you've got magic bands, it tells you how to do that as well. Obviously we weren't staying on Disney property, so we didn't get them. We could have paid extra for them, but it seemed a bit silly to pay extra money when we didn't really need them. With the fast passes, you can book up to 3 in one day in advance, and they will give you sort of categories that you can pick out of. So you can pick one from the really popular rides, and then going down you can pick like 2 out of the next category, I think. It's best if you can get those fast passes in the morning, because when they're finished you can then go to a fast pass kiosk in any of the parks and get another fast pass for later in the day, but you can then only get 1 at a time after you've used your first 3. So if you're booking them in advance, you can book 3. Once those 3 have been used, then you can go and book 1 After that, once you've used that one, then you can book another one. Once you've used that one, you can book another one. So if you go sort of a quiet time of year, you can get quite a few fast passes in one day. I think there was only one day where we'd managed to do all 3, and we could have gone and got a fast pass for something else, but I think we were at Animal Kingdom, so it was quite quiet. There wasn't really many rides there that we needed to go and get fast passes for, so we kind of just left it at the 3 that we booked in advance, and that was it. So they're a great help, those fast passes, and even better now that you can book them online. They can be a bit of a pain obviously if you do leave them till the night before, and then you kind of get stuck with rides that you don't necessarily want, or they're really late in the day, so it means you can't go and get any other ones beforehand, and you kind of just have to get in queues. But they are a really good advantage being able to do it in advance, I'd say. So if you're packing for your trip, obviously you're going to pack for your trip, not if you're packing for your trip, you're going to need to pack clothes, sun cream, hats, glasses, really comfortable shoes, and socks. You would not believe socks, how important they are. In terms of your shoes as well, so I don't really own a pair of like proper trainers like I would class as running trainers anymore, because I don't really wear trainers. I have other shoes that I find more comfortable when I go for walks. I tend to take my walking boots rather than trainers, so I've never really needed a pair of trainers in the past, I'd say 3 or 4 years, so I don't really have a pair. I actually took some like plimp soles that have the really thick soles on the bottom. I got them from H&M and they had Mickey Mouse on them, so I was like, I have to take them with me. They've got Mickey on them. I can't not take them with me. And they were actually really comfortable. I thought they were going to be really uncomfortable because they'd be heavy with the big soles on the bottom. And I just thought they're like really cheap from H&M. I'm going to wear them one day and then go, I can't wear them anymore. So my mum gave me a pair of her running trainers to take with me. And before we went, I went and brought loads of socks. So I bought some from Asda and some from TK Maxx that have the padding on the bottom that are meant to relieve like the strain on the soles of your feet, and they're meant to be for running and jogging and things like that. And they weren't that expensive. I tried to get really cheap ones because I thought I probably won't wear them again, little trainer socks, because I don't have trainers, and they were brilliant. I had a pair of the little socks that you get with the frill around the top, that come from like River Island and that, and I wore them one day for, it probably worked out about half a day, but it seemed like a really long time, and my feet were killing me afterwards because they've got nothing to them. The material kind of almost went, it felt like it kind of shredded underneath my feet. It didn't, because they're still intact, but they were just so uncomfortable. So if you're taking trainers, I recommend getting some of the socks with the padding in the soles as well, just to sort of give your feet that extra bit of comfort and that extra bit of support when you're on your feet all day. Flip-flops, some people wear flip-flops. I don't think I could have coped with flip-flops around the parks all day every day. I had a pair of Converse with me as well. They were quite good, but they're pretty old now, so I probably could have done with a new pair. But they did the trick when I didn't want to wear the trainers anymore because they hurt too much, and I didn't fancy wearing my bright orange Mickey Mouse plimp soles. I sort of stuck my black Converse on and just wore them around the parks. The only thing is I wore them when we were going to the parks with the water rides where you get really wet, and my feet were killing me afterwards because they don't, like, the tops dry out, so the sun's on your feet and the tops dry out, and then you're walking around and it just seems to sit in the sole of the shoe, and every time you walk it kind of squelches and you can hear it squelching all day long. And when you take your socks off at the end of the night, they're still wet inside your shoe, and it's disgusting. And my feet were killing me. Luckily, we had a water park day the next day, so I could like wear flip-flops and let my feet out, and it was fine. But yeah, definitely think about your shoe wear very carefully. Don't forget sunglasses to protect your eyes. It's really sunny over there, so you're going to need some good sunglasses or just a hat. I've got quite dark hair, as you can see, so I don't really like wearing hats, and when I go on holiday to like Spain and that, I tend to take just a bandana to tie around the main bit of my head. I don't care how stupid I look, it keeps the sun off my head and I don't get sick and feel dizzy and get too hot. And I have a visor. I have a tear like this. So some days I would just wear this just to shield my eyes. I would sometimes wear it with my bandana over the top, so I had something covering the top of my head, and then I just put this on top. I also had, bear with me, this hat, my Marvel hat, which I actually got for Secret Santa. It's not brilliant because it's kind of like black in places, but it just to sort of keep the sun off my head, so I didn't have my like head in the sun all day every day. So I'd say if you can wear hats and you're comfortable wearing hats, definitely take them. Some rides they'll say you can't wear them on, so you'll need to like strap them to your bags, or sort of attach them to your belt loops on your jeans or shorts. Sun cream, don't forget sun cream. If you can get the little bottles like from Superdrug and Boots, and I guess the supermarkets as well, kind of like the travel bottles, definitely fill one of them up if you're not taking like a big bag into the park, just to take with you to sort of top up during the day. Because when you're leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning, which we were trying to leave between 7 and 8, I was putting sun cream on before we left the apartment. We were then going for breakfast, then getting to the parks, and then spending all day up till like midnight in the parks. And okay, the sun goes down at like 9 or whatever, but you're in the sun all day. Okay, even if you're going in and out of rides, it's still so hot, and you can't just have one layer of sun cream on during the day. It's mainly your arms that get it, and your face obviously if you're not wearing a hat or anything. So definitely take one of those little bottles, they're really handy. Clothes, I'd say like if you're going in the summer, definitely shorts and t-shirts. If you've got a rain mat, you can take a rain mat, but what you can also get out there, which we were lucky enough that where we were staying, they'd actually bought some, obviously it's someone's holiday home, they bought some and left them in the garage, is Disney ponchos which have Mickey on the back. I've got some from years ago that are like bright yellow with a Mickey on the back. Their ones were kind of like see-through with Mickey on the back, but they're great. I don't know how much they are now in the parks, but they're not too bad. And they kind of just like a bag go over the top of you with armholes and a little hood thing. So they're great for just sort of keeping the rain off you if you're going in the summer during like monsoon season, or even at Christmas time if you're going. They still have rain showers then as well. And it's so warm when it rains that you don't really need like a coat to shield you from the rain like you do here in England. It's just literally to keep the rain off you. So if you're happy to get wet and have like a cool down, don't worry about taking raincoats or buying ponchos. If you want to go on the rides to cool down, you're not going to want a poncho anyway. One thing that you might want to take though, even if you're going in the summer, is a jumper, just to leave in your car or like take around with you, which is a bit of a pain during the day at the parks. But definitely if you've got a car, leave one in the car, because when you go into these restaurants, they are freezing. They have their aircon on, and I don't think the Americans think they're cold, but for us, when we come out of that heat and then go into the restaurant and it's freezing cold, and if you're tired as well and you've been up all day and you just want to eat dinner quick, they're not necessarily quick service places that you're going into if you're going outside of the parks. So you'll kind of need like a jumper just to shield your shoulders a bit, I guess. I was okay not wearing trousers in the restaurants, but I definitely needed a jumper. I learnt my lesson after the first meal, and I thought, yeah, I'm just going to leave one in the car. When you're going into the restaurants in the park, they're nowhere near as cold, and I think that's because they know they don't need to be that cold, and they need to be slightly warmer, because you're not going to be taking a jumper around the park with you, really. Maybe in the winter you might want to take a couple of pairs of trousers, like comfy trousers or jeans, just in case you have like a cold day. I've seen a couple of videos where people have gone in the winter and they have had quite cold weather and they haven't packed for that, so they've had to like go and get coats and things. So it is a possibility, but I think it's pretty rare that it gets that cold. Okay, I think I'm ready. Okay. Hi.